Can you find your way, even without light? When no voice reaches your ears, and only darkness lies ahead, could you still understand the world, and choose to live within it? Do you believe that a child cut off from all sound and sight could change the world? What if that very child touched the hearts of millions? Would you be ready to listen to her story all the way to the end? There was a world with no light, no sound, and in that silence, there lived a little girl. Around the age of 2, she fell into a fierce fever that burned for days, and when it passed, it took her sight and hearing with it. The world became a silent, shadowed prison that closed in around her. She could not speak. She could not hear. At first, her parents didn't realize. She didn't respond to her name, or to the wave of a hand before her eyes. Only then did they understand that the world had disappeared from their daughter. She cried out in anguish, but no one could understand her. She had feelings, but no way to express them. She rejected every hand that tried to reach her, and slowly, she closed herself off. People shook their heads. She'll never amount to anything, they said. No one believed in her. No school would take her. Then in 1887, one person came to her. A young teacher, only 20 years old, named Anne Sullivan, and traveled to the child's home, and every day, she wrote words into her palm. At first, nothing happened. The girl gave no sign she understood. But one day, Anne took her to the water pump. As cold water poured over her small hand, and traced letters into her skin, WATR. In that moment, touch and meaning became one. It was her first connection to the world. The door had opened. She began to hunger for words. She understood sentences. She learned Braille, finger spelling, the typewriter. She began to reach outward. She would not stop. And she went on to graduate from Radcliffe College, the women's division of Harvard. She became the first deafblind person in history to earn a college degree. But she didn't just graduate. She walked alone through the world of knowledge, unable to see, unable to hear, and still she learned. She told her story in a book, The Story of My Life. It was translated into more than 50 languages. It reached millions of hands around the world. It became a timeless voice for those lost in despair. She visited wounded soldiers who had lost their sight, and said, I cannot see you, but I feel you. She fought for women's rights, for workers, for human dignity. She stood with the weakest, and walked beside the forgotten. She gave speeches in over 35 countries. She spoke without a voice, yet her message moved nations. She listened without ears, yet heard the truth in every human heart. She was born in 1880, in a small town in Alabama, just after the American Civil War. It was a time when slavery had only just ended, and women could not even vote. She lived through 2 world wars, the Great Depression, and the rise of civil rights. She stood at the White House and spoke before the president. She raised her voice for the rights of the disabled. President Franklin Roosevelt was moved by her cause, and policies began to change. President John F. Kennedy called her one of the greatest women in American history. Her name was Helen Keller. And today, are you feeling lost? Does the world feel like it has turned away from you? Then remember her story. There was once a child who carved a path through darkness and silence. And now, you too can be a light in someone's darkness. She is the proof. Helen Keller is the proof. When your life needs wisdom and courage from the classics, we are here. If you seek deeper thought and timeless truths, subscribe, like, and turn on the bell. We are the voice of classics, and we walk with you.